Good evening, everybody. Interceptor here. So, um, starting off project marketing tea each week, which was going to be morning marketing tea, and then I didn't want to get up this morning, so it just became Monday marketing tea. Um, trying to share knowledge and news that I've collected to help others strengthen their voice and their values, particularly for businesses, but for individual authors and creatives as well. My focus is search engine optimization and marketing strategy. So a lot of the news probably have to do with online visibility, but it's also just my little break in the day to talk about whatever, if I so choose. So, if you are in chat, feel free to chime in with questions, clarification, or just ask for advice in anything related to this subject. If I can't come up with a good answer now, likely I'll think about it and get back to you the next week. But right now, this is Twitch only, but hopefully I'll be on Facebook and YouTube. So I have some time to sit down for multicasting. I'm a wizard. Alright. So, this is just meant to be brief. Not everything going on, but just some top items that crossed my inbox from, one week to the next. So, first issue that I've seen I'm writing about is the Google lawsuit. My cat. So he has a lot of thoughts about Google. So Google, it's a very interesting situation. So over a year ago, hey Ross, how are you? Good to be live. Good to be alive. All of the above. Pretty good. Cat. I'm talking about the Google lawsuit. Exactly. I'm getting distracted by the cat. Okay, apparently that's the kind of day that it's been. Spock is the most spoiled lifetime right now, though. Yes. Spoiled. Oh, so, it's been like a year, not more, since Google was found guilty. These legal terms might not be right, of being a monopoly. And they just released some guidance on what that should look like to stop it. And frankly, it's not that impressive, to be honest. And by that I mean, like, so they've decided that Google doesn't have to split up. That was like an initial thought that it might have to have different sub companies doing things now, or separate companies. But basically, Google can stay together and can keep doing everything that it's doing. It just can't be exclusive, which means essentially that, like, for example, Apple was one of the players mentioned in this. Um, if they let Google be the default search engine in their browser, they also get to let other companies be the exclusive search engine in their browser. And however they break that up is up to them. So basically, it just sounds like Apple and other operating systems are getting rich because it's like, great, Google, pay us everything that you've been paying us, and all these companies pay us. And then we're rich. It was a really weird ruling. But the other interesting part of it is because, this is over a year ago that all this started. Um, and in that time, ChatGPT and other AI tools are gaining ground as search engines. Uh, and so, in essence, the court, the judge, whoever, um, was like, well, really, AI is already breaking up your monopoly. So we don't have to do anything. So, I mean, and in some ways that's good because that's how the free market is supposed to work, right? Um, People come up with new ideas and businesses have to figure out how to deal with that. It just made this situation really weird. Like they had to go through this whole lawsuit and really not much came of it. Yeah, I mean, but is Google really that much better? Um, I feel like Google used to be better as a search engine and it's getting worse again. And maybe because of AI. Um, I don't know. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have. I wasn't monitoring my Twitch ads. So I apologize if anybody gets cut off. I should, I kind of forgot that was a thing. So I should work on that. So in conclusion, nobody knows what's going on with Google. And the government isn't going to really do anything, which again, that's not necessarily bad that the government's not intervening, but it's just a weird scenario. There you go. Um, sec- oh, a funny add-on to that, though. There was a headline today that Google removed some sort of um, ability, let's say, to check the first 100 results very quickly. Oh my goodness, Max, you're still subscribed? Why? But I appreciate you all the same. Uh, and so a lot of businesses are seeing. So when you're tracking your search rankings, two of the big stats are impressions and click through. So impressions basically just means um, somebody entered a search and your website was pulled up somewhere. And that's usually understood to be in the top like 100. Click means someone actually clicked on your website and went there. So Google has taken away this ability to quickly see the first 100 results. So a lot of businesses are seeing much lower impressions, but much higher click-through rates. Yeah, nobody ever clicks through the first 10. Okay. I have clicked to the second page a couple of times for like legitimate trying to find something, but probably less than 10 times in my entire life. So, yes, believe it or not, there are search results beyond even the first three, which is like, well, most of the traffic. Summarize, most of the traffic is the first three organic results. But yeah, it is very rare that anybody would go. It has to be a pretty obscure search. Yeah, like if it's pretty obscure and it's very specific, um, you'll keep looking. Google doesn't let you go beyond page 6 anymore? That I didn't even know. But to be fair, they've really changed how the search page is laid out. I've noticed there's a lot more results on the first page in that they let you scroll. If you do keep scrolling, which most people don't, but they let you scroll a while before you even get an option to look at other pages. I don't even know how many, because in my professional capacity, you want to be in the top 10 and then you want to be in the top 3, but really you want to be in the special positions. You want to be in the map or the people also ask or AI overviews now, because even though they're obnoxious, you see them, right? I mean, they're the first thing that Google shoves down your throat. So, anyway, so Google's changing the way that it does things, which changes the way that people check results. Not necessarily useful for businesses, one way or the other, but it's just good to know um, that you may see weird stat changes if you're tracking any sort of website SEO. All right, Google. Don't even get me started. Speaking of stats, so I was reading a state of SEO for 2026 report, which is kind of funny because it's like still 2025. But the idea being that prepare for 2026. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, I can't remember Google ever not letting me continue, but there certainly may be searches where it does. What I found funny about this report, which is the same that I have seen in a lot of other marketing reports, is the reports are built on surveys from people in the field. Sense. But it really only tells you what people are doing and not necessarily what's working. And as you all know, those are not the same thing. Biases are really an issue, especially when it comes to marketing. People do what feels right. Um, and that may or may not be what's most effective. I did like this report overall, though, for that work, because it did at least break it down by like, this is what the question was, this is what the purpose of the question was, and these are the responses that we got. And then they took some analysis from that, which showed what someone might guess from my preface to this, that the questions and answers don't necessarily align. So people are like, oh yeah, SEO is super important, but then they also don't understand which statistics to track. And then they also don't necessarily invest in what they say is most important, which is just a very human thing. Like, oh yeah, my health is really important, but I'm still going to eat the dozen cookies. Um, oh yeah, SEO is really important and we want to know about our return on investment, but we're not really tracking it, so can't tell what that return is. Cookies, chocolate. Yeah. I mean, you do have to make those calculated risks, you know. Um, in relation to the cookies comment. Yeah, life be like that. Humans be like that. And marketing be like that. These are all the things that we want, but we don't want to spend any money. Okay, well, like, I'll always remember there was, back when I was just getting started as a freelancer, I took a small course on social media management and stuff. So not something I focus on, but important to have a sense of how it works and everything. And when talking about meeting with prospects and setting a parameter and stuff, she broke it down to, talking with the client about, what are the results that you want? Do you want to grow awareness, increase engagement, or, convert more clients? And if they say all three, tell them no, right? You have to focus on one thing at a time. That's just how effective strategy works. Fun times. Businesses don't like hearing that. All right. This is just my parting comment, as it were, more than necessarily news, but it's just something I see all the time. Um, and it's really about understanding different generations. If you are a younger person, you use the internet very differently than an older person. Generally speaking, obviously there are exceptions, and not every, I'm a millennial, so I'm in that middle age where, like, some people are very digital and some people are very analog. Analog. And I'm sort of a Luddite sometimes too, especially when it comes to like AI. I see someone's business card described as a physical website. You know, that's funny. I'm going to use it because I never would have thought about reversing it. But you hear, at least I do. Maybe other people don't because they're not talking to businesses about their websites. But I hear a lot of people refer to their website as, I just need something online so people know I'm legitimate. And it's like, okay. Roz has a point. And yeah, there are a lot of useless and unpretty websites. And you guys were even talking about, search results earlier, and people don't go on to page 2 of search results, for example. Uh, and just the way that people conceive of search is accurate a lot of times to like 10 years ago compared to where search actually is, which I don't necessarily love. Again, I'm a Luddite. I don't want to use AI as a search engine, but as Google found out, that's where the younger generations are going. Younger generations, thankfully, don't like things written AI, I would say. So there is some hope in that. Um, but they still use AI like their best friend, unfortunately, sometimes literally, because they do like that personalized response. And if you've ever experienced the frustration of talking to a human via chat that doesn't know what they're talking about, AI is no more frustrating than that. So, um, it's just important to know that a lot of people use the internet and they use it in a lot of different ways, like it or not. Let's see. Okay, I have to check out the pretty website and see if it lives up to pretty. That is actually pretty. Like, it's not effective as, you know, a website per se, because I have no idea what this company does. Um, but given space, maybe, oh, data centers in space. Okay, at least they say it at the top. Um, because yeah, I look at that and I'm like, that is pretty, but I would probably click away immediately. They put servers in space. They do space. I want to buy space. Space, please. One space. They put digital space and literal space. Space. No one can use up all their data. The amount of that's sad, Max. Like, or is it like bots, or is it like actual ads from YouTube? If you buy space, it becomes yours. Actual ads from you. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, and YouTube ads. I was reading about something about them the other day. I can't remember if it came from one of you or one of my journals, but like, I know Punch has ad block and you guys probably have ad block too. But for Luddites like me who do not have ad block, it is interesting how YouTube ad algorithm has changed. Um, and They gave a term for it about like the reason that it's working is it's kind of like a lottery gambling thing. Like, oh, I'll watch this ad. Maybe this will be the ad that I can skip. And so, because YouTube was letting you skip ads for a very long time, and now they don't, or they have many longer ads, but you put up with it because you're used to being able to skip it and you're hoping that you can skip it again. Something along those lines. Don't quote me on the science of it. But that was interesting. Because it does seem to run contrary, although I'd have to look at the statistics on how it's working, on the internet attention span, which is quite short. Um, Websites, you're supposed to, I think it's like 3 seconds. Okay, maybe that's where I saw it then, Max. But sometimes ads are getting longer because apparently you think that you might be able to skip it, and that would work. Anyway. So yeah, those are some of the news and thoughts for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. I think I have any really clever rap or anything like that worked out yet. It's just well, like I say in the title, is this a podcast? Is that what I'm doing now? Um, yeah, and let me know like which topics I guess would be like I'm probably inevitably going to talk about search because that's what I the most about. Um, but other writing or tech tangential things, I would certainly be happy to um, share that might be more relevant to, creatives and streamers and whatnot. That you guys can take something away from it. Because I know you all want to be big, famous streamers. So anyway, I'll be around. Uh, I have a Ko-Fi because Punch encouraged me. He didn't actually, but he did it, so then I did it. Um, but also follow me here on Twitch, which you all already doing. But there might be other people watching who don't yet. So I'll presumably be back next Monday, as far as I know. Ooh, Fourth Wall. Interesting. I haven't heard of that one, so I will check them out. You are famous, Max. For a limited definition of famous. Roz is famous too. All right. But yeah, that's it for this week.